People come to talks between directors.
Yeah, exactly. But another actor friend who emailed me once. Yeah, I said I'm previewing tonight. I'm really stressed out. He goes, "Good luck, basing your entire film on what a bunch of high teenagers from the mall think tonight."
Right. So I directed
No. I should ask you. There's one question they want everyone to ask. Film is in a transitional state, business and distribution-wise, and the viewer has gained more control. How does this affect or change your work?
Thank you for asking that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't need a couple times. Yeah. Does it? Well, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't change. I think you still try to do things that are, try to do what you think is good, and you try your best. And in terms of viewers gain more control. I think the viewer has always had control, really, right? They either go or they don't go.
Buy a ticket or not.
Yeah, and now they're just more direct. I actually think all of the sort of what's going on digitally and access to media is not a bad thing. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I like that I can watch a movie at home if I want to just just buy it really quickly, or a series. I like how you can watch, like I just watched
binge viewing, House of
House of Cards, and doing that, and I find that really, really convenient and great. And if you want to keep watching, keep watching. And
but would you actually does that seem like another channel you would be interested in pursuing? Like, would you ever do a 10-part series and use what you know about making comedies or dramas or any story, and use the mediums that way? Yeah.
Sure, I think it's fun and exciting to, and it's because you see people they're able to do a high level, high quality work is being done on television, and people who are who are good are flocking to it, and I think everybody just wants to do good stuff. And the thing about it is it's a little more immediate, because the other thing about making movies is, there's so many years of development that go on when you're trying to get a movie made, especially big budget movies, and it can really take the spontaneity or the energy or the out of it. Where by the time you finally get to making the movie, like on Tropic Thunder, it wasn't because it took us about 8 or 9 years from when we first started writing the script to get it made. But then really it was in the last 3 months when it finally, or 6 months when it finally came together with the cast, and we were making it, that we made all these changes in it, all this new stuff that the previous 8 years, didn't even matter. And I think that's great. It's great to just, you want to be in the moment with something, and you want it to have that energy. So I think it's good. And the thing I really kind of don't like is, I don't know, I miss the special thing of going to the movies and
the big
like the idea of movies that kind of go direct to television. To me, while I understand the positive aspect of that, I kind of just miss the excitement of something that's on the big screen. And when you make something, you think about it being on the big screen. You try to think of it that way in terms of when you're actually making it. What the images are and what people see, and it's very different when people are literally watching movies on their iPhones. That's it's such a difference in terms of the size of the image. And then I also hate that film is going away, because I really love film. But I also appreciate that now so many more people have access to making movies, and they can make movies that look great digitally. But I'm just old or something. I like movies. I like film. I grew up making Super 8 films, and the feel of it, and at the look of it. And the last thing, I've been working on this movie for we shot it on film.
Walter Mitty's Secret Life.
And in the story, it's literally about Life magazine is going digital in the movie, even though I've already sort of done that, and the film is going away. The still photography is going away. And so it felt for me, it was like a good thing to make the movie on
Thematic,
film.
yeah.
Sort of, yeah, and also I just think it's better. You know, I mean, I really like digital projection. I think because you get a much more consistent image, and you don't go to a theater somewhere and see, a movie and it's got scratches and one speaker and all that. And so that is great. But for me, I like shooting on film. So.
I'm conflicted about it. I'm excited about the projection changing because when we I don't know if you remember this, but we did Meet the Parents. They released 400 prints that were printed in Canada, and somehow they have these rollers that collect the lint off the film. Somehow they switched the polarity and put all the lint of other films onto our film. Seriously, they explained this to me we were screening it back here. I'd come back, I had such a thing about New York, but I came back to show it here at the Lincoln Center. I walked in and it was a snowstorm on the film, and it was blue. It was like 3 stops too bright and blue, and an actual snow globe was in front of your face for a while. And people were still laughing, and it was kind of playing, but now when I go to, and it was just a terrible print, and the printing process of film, I got so frustrated with it over time. Now to be able to dial it in so beautifully and have the sort of digital internet go right to film, and then not have to rely on the weird thing of chemical baths and temperatures of, I don't know. So I'm hooked on the projection, and I'm actually hooked on the digital cameras now too, because in comedy, especially because you can roll so long and let people just run with stuff and improvise. Those advances and the avid editing too. Like just the way you can try a bazillion different versions. Hunting. I mean, I really am a dinosaur because I learned to edit on 60 millimeter, and you lose a frame this big and a trim bit, and it would be weeks to get just the cut back to where you were. So anyway, those technological things, but the user interface has gotten to a place where you can have such a different experience watching a long series that I think films could get to be, if they're released like they did that House of Cards, you could almost do, you could get back to, you could advance the medium of visual storytelling the way the novel advanced, for example, because it doesn't have to be a weekend explosive box office or a giant ratings hit. You can have this long haul audience, that it's a whole other opportunity for us.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's a really positive thing because what the box office and what that formula is creates now an environment that it's really hard to get most movies made.